All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So, we paid respect to Michael Jordan. We paid respect to Kobe Bryant. We paid some respect to Magic Johnson. And it's Larry Bird time. Honestly, this wasn't planned, but as I'm going through old members requests, this is the next one that was the longest, as far as like it's been sitting in the members request playlist for the longest. And I'm actually really excited, guys. This is from Trice, the YouTube channel, one of my favorite documentary YouTube channels. It's actually just brilliant, guys. It's actually the first documentaries I found on YouTube for sports, and it blew me away. And now we know there's others out there, but this will always have a close place in my heart with Trice. This one's titled Larry Bird, Basketball's Most Ruthless Legend. This is an hour and a half long, you guys. So I'm going to split this up into 2 parts, I think, unless we just ride through it and it'll be one super long video for today. I'll decide that as we go along. You'll probably know by the length of the video. If it's an hour long, then it's half. If it's 2 hours long, well, I think I went for the whole thing. So you'll know before I know. Anyways, you guys, Larry, y'all know how I feel about Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, all these guys. Every single month I give a whole day to Michael Jordan. I give a whole day to Kobe Bryant, and it's not something I want to do on a regular basis. But this month, Larry Bird, you're getting your day. So guys, I'm going to link the original video down below for Trice. Please check it out. Well, watch the video first, watch this reaction, and see if you like it. I assume you will. And just remember later on, when that pops in your head, the link is down below, okay? It's going to be in the description. You also see a list of channel members. Shout out to you guys. Sorry it's taken me so long to get to some of these, but like I said before, it's an impossible mission to catch up. But we're trying, and I say let's get right into this, because this is going to be a long one, you guys. So here we go. Like the video, hype the video, all that good stuff if you could. Hope you're doing well, and let's do this. That's my dog.
When I played, Larry Bird was the only one I feared. A lot of black guys always ask me, could Larry Bird really play that good? I said, man, Larry Bird was so good, it's frightening.
This one's in 4K. Right, hold on. Let me make this look nice. All right. There we go.
Fall away. Hits it! Sam Vincent to Bird. And it goes.
All right, you guys, I'm going to do my part too. I'm going to try to put this as close to 4K as I can so you can adjust your settings.
Larry used to come in the locker rooms. He'd be getting his ankles taped, and he'd say, hey, ball boy, run in and go find the scoring record in this building.
Take that, Larry Bird. In your face, as they say.
Larry told all of us players and the media too, tomorrow night's the last game of the trip, I'm going to play this with left-handed.
Yeah.
Larry was the originator of getting in your face and talking trash.
He backed up whatever he said. If he tell you going to hit a shot in a certain place, or if he going to take you down to the post, turn around, hit a fadeaway J, he going to do just that, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
A magnificent play.
That's the Bird way of accountability.
I get a charge and I'm telling someone on the opposing team that I'm going to hit the last second shot and then do it. That's what it's all about.
I'm going to get right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
So funny. So many people we know, like so many stars we know, avoid the last shot like the plague. And he literally just publicly talks about it even. He's like, yeah, this is what does it for me, is calling it out and then doing it like right there in live time.
5, and Bird has the basketball. Look,
this is crazy.
Larry Bird, just phenomenal the way that
he came out when right about that exact spot. He shot a shot right in my face. And, he was like, I didn't mean to leave 2 seconds on the clock.
And Frank is coaching, and Larry says to hey, Frank.
And that's the X-Man. The X-Man doesn't soften up to tell stories for no one.
Everybody on that bench can guard me. He goes, so nobody out here can. Frank looked out of the bench and goes, no.
My teammates knew at the end of the game, if it's close, I was going to take the shot.
Max looking.
That's awesome to have a guy like that on your team.
It's good!
I was usually that guy, but you got to have that guy established on every single team, in my opinion.
He was a cold-blooded killer. But in the last 24 seconds, he would demand the basketball.
Got a shot. Get it! And it's got it. The 3-point man.
He was a basketball.
In my opinion, that's what that's what the big money's all about in the NBA. Like, if you're getting paid the most on your team, you're the star. You're the face of the team, you know? Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, these guys. You are the face, the image of the team. Y'all going to take that last shot. That's your job. That's part of your job, in my opinion. You know, it's like being a manager versus a customer service associate. You have other jobs you have to do on top of what they do to earn that pay. And I think part of that is taking these last shots. And if you're not going to take the last shot, then at least be a decoy for it, you know, because you've done it so many times, they're expecting you to do it.
Genius. He'd be a step ahead, a thought ahead. Play the game like a chess game.
Bird along the baseline, underneath to Maxwell.
Like, he's a maestro. He's conducting out there. He's a puppeteer.
I'd much rather guard Michael Jordan than Larry Bird, because you have to play the game as a thinker when you play it, and you have to get inside his mind.
Bird takes the shot. It's gone!
Larry Bird
That's a hell of a statement.
There will be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever be another Larry Bird.
Well, Magic, 30, man, how many years has it been? I think 34 years later, you are correct, man. There is never going to be another Larry Bird. There might be some people who emulate him. No one is going to come close to what Larry Bird is.
Larry Joe Bird was born in West Baden, Indiana, but everyone knows him as the Hick from French Lick. Rural Indiana was simple, a quiet slice of America filled with hard-working people who did what they needed to get by. But just like the humble work ethic that gets passed down from one generation to the next, there's another natural gene that's passed down in Indiana: basketball.
It's what forms community.
By the way, shout out to channel members. This is probably going to get copyright claimed. The last couple of Trice ones I did, he's got some music stuff going on, which makes the documentary great. So no regrets here. But super shout out to the members for supporting me with stuff like this.
In Indiana, it's cultured basketball. It's rural. It's doing nothing all day long but shooting jump shots so that they are great pure shooters. I remember Larry telling me how he had waxed the net because the net would last longer that way.
Wow.
Everybody in my town had the same things. It seemed like nothing. So all we did was play sports.
Larry's mother...
Waxing the net. Have you guys ever heard or done this before? It's the first time I've ever heard this. Waxing the net so it lasts longer. Interesting.
Did what she could to provide, working long hours in a local diner. And his father worked construction but was unable to keep a job for long due to a long-standing struggle with alcohol.
He loved his father. His father was a flawed man. His father was an alcoholic. His father was a laborer who had skills that were that he could only bring to bear when he was sober enough to work.
I didn't know that people made millions of dollars. I didn't know that everybody had a family car. I was in my own cocoon. I was in a small town with the people I knew, and I thought I'd live there for the rest of my life.
And any young people watching, that's what it was like before the internet. We weren't all able to communicate and see what each other are doing and what life is like. Like even between state to state, you had to rely on a lot of word of mouth back then. Let alone now we can see what's going on in other countries and all kinds of stuff. Talk to people from all over the world. This was not the case, especially back then. He's talking about like the 60s. Like even in the 80s, we couldn't do this.
He grew up in one of the most simplistic ways imaginable. His family didn't have a phone till he was a teenager.
The Birds routinely moved to different rented house, none of which were ever big enough to accommodate everybody.
Really, the essence of Larry to me is his mother, who would get up at 3:30 in the morning and go work at a diner in the morning, and then come back as the kids were getting ready for school, get them off to school, and then trudge off to her next job because they didn't have a car.
Wow. MVP mom.
I think it's as you mature, you start to respect all that. As growing up, you don't realize that you don't have anything because you never had it in the first place. But, making some money and looking back, I remember all of it. and I don't want to be like that again.
Bird's saving grace would come on the cracked concrete courts behind the town's high school gym. All he had was an old leather ball and rusty rims.
Wow.
But this is where Larry fell in love with the game of basketball. Away from the struggles at home, Bird chased perfection on the empty court, trading the struggle of life for the rhythm of a jump shot.
We didn't have a lot when we grew up, and basketball, when it came into my life, that's all I did.
By the time Larry enrolled at Springs Valley High School, Bird had followed the steps of...
Man, that takes me back, you guys. How many of you used to just go out there and shoot hoops for hours because you got some problems at home? Like, I did that all the time growing up. There's some, you know, every household has it, but I would do it all the time. There's crap going on inside the house. I'd go outside and just shoot hoops for hours and hours and hours and hope for something better. And that's crazy. It's crazy. So it sounds like a lot of people started their journey this way, and it makes sense too, because that's also why I started playing guitar eventually, was to get away, you know, some kind of escapism that I feel like truly involved in.
Brothers, staying true to his Indiana roots by trying out for the basketball team.
You know, at school, everybody tell me my bigger brother was a great player, and I can't wait to grow up and try to be like him. And you can see he was proud of how he played on a certain night, and I sort of wanted the same feeling.
He was just an average basketball player at that time. But there used to be a basketball court halfway up the hill.
Wow.
And you would always...
Is that covered in snow?
Seeing him down there shooting at that basketball in the rain. You know, out there shooting the basketball in the rain and just practicing by himself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the rain's nothing. Like, the snow is something I've never gotten to do because, you know, we don't get snow out here. But, man, yeah, the pouring rain, we'd be hooping, no problem. 115 degrees outside, scorching sun above our head, we'd be hooping for hours. Yeah, you just got to go, like, hose off. You got to know where the hose is, like the water hose, because after a while, you're going to start to overheat, and you just need to, like, spray your entire body with your clothes on, cool off real quick, get back on the court. You're going to dry up within 5 minutes with that heat. It was, and you got to drink a lot of water, or else you're gonna black out. I did black out during a practice once. I was taking the ball up to court, saw red streaky lines and black dots. Next thing you know, I woke up on the park bench because my coach was smart and decided to throw a practice at noon on a day that was going to be 115 degrees. That was a bad idea. And we were doing full court scrimmage.
Played with a lot, but I was picking up on things that I thought that were relative simple moves that they had a hard time with, and that's when things started clicking a little bit for me.
Although his freshman season would be spent on the bench, during his sophomore year, Bird would learn a life lesson that would inspire one of the greatest work ethics the game has ever seen. Following the ankle injury his sophomore year, Larry would be forced to miss a large portion of the season. However, one day, Bird recalls his father coming home from work and needing help taking off his work boot. Underneath was a black and blue ankle that looked severe.
We don't know if he broke it or he just hurt it, but had lost swelling in his ankle and couldn't get his boot on. We had to help him get his boot on and go to work. So, you know, to me, it would have been very easy to just say heck with it, but he knew he had to go. So we helped him get it on there, and he went to work.
This lesson taught a young Larry what it meant to work through any circumstance.
Yeah, I learned that work ethic from my father as well. He would never miss work no matter what. I remember once he got into a car accident. Kind of complicated story, but let's just say he had to jump out of the vehicle. He was a driver. He had to jump out of a moving vehicle. Came home with a busted up ankle. Should not be working. But the very next morning, there he is, you know. And the philosophy that he would teach me is you don't have to do everything you normally would do, but you have to show up and you have to help. You have to try. You know what I mean? That's the idea. That's the message. So that stuck with me. And I mean, the different eras, you would never do this nowadays, but I remember coming off of a surgery, appendix, And within about a week, I was back at work just because of that. And I shouldn't have been, but I did the same thing. I was like, I can't do what I normally do. I can stand in this position and do this task, though, while you guys carry the rest of the load. You know what I mean? I can be stationary. I just can't be moving around and walking around and lifting heavy stuff and whatever. But you can help. You can help. It's just a different time now.
And immediately, Bird was out shooting in his driveway on his crutches.
Well, my confidence came from me shooting basketball by myself for hours upon hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I didn't pick up a ball on a Saturday and decide I was going to score 40 a game. I mean, that preparation came way before that. So I played a lot of basketball in my life and did a lot of shooting from every angle, from every position. Then once I grew, be 6'9", the game became a lot easier.
Yeah.
It was just like, magic wand had touched him or a miracle had happened because we'd never seen him play like that.
I was playing one time and they were growing up, standing around, and I was playing really well, and they were really excited about it. And once I seen the impact I was making, just with a few people standing there, I started playing more and more and started to develop my skills and really take my game to another level.
Yeah. A little word of advice for any young people watching. The best way to test your skill is to play with people that are like 3 to 4 years older than you. You're going to get your ass kicked at first, but you have there's a new ceiling for you then. If you have an older brother or an older sister or whatever that can bust your ass on the court, even better, because then they can bust your ass at home. I had that advantage. So when it was time to play with older people, I held my own 90% of the time, but it's because I had that standard set for my older brother that this is how good I should be. And man, was he good. For however good I was, he was even better. He was my teacher.
Citing the hours of work he had put in his preparation, Larry would average over 30 points and nearly 20 rebounds his senior year, with word quickly spreading about this kid from French Lick. Still, most colleges didn't know what to make of Larry. He was tall but thin, with slow feet, and being from the middle of nowhere, many schools had never even heard of him. Enter the legendary Bob Knight, head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. It was every Indiana kid's dream to wear the red and white, and Larry was no different, signing to play at Indiana in the fall of 1974. The next 2 years would be the most successful in the storied program's history, as the Hoosiers would lose only one game and capture a national championship. Only one thing was missing: Larry Bird. Just 24 days after enrolling in Bloomington, Larry had already packed his bags and hitchhiked home to French Lick.
Get a load of what he does here. I haven't seen this documentary, but I do know this part of the story. Crazy to think, in a different timeline, this is what Larry Bird would have done for his life.
I'm from a town that had around 2,000 and going somewhere where they had over 30,000. Right away, I sensed that I was in the wrong environment.
You can just see the two closets in this little dormitory room. And then one kid's got this rack of fine, nice clothes. And Larry Bird's got nothing but a couple of pairs of jeans.
Yeah.
I think that the size of the school and not really having, that many friends there and not having a lot or coming from a lot, I think he just got a little discouraged and a little depressed and bailed out without really consulting anyone.
Yeah, he was a fish out of water, man. We've all been there. A total fish out of water, and he said, screw this, I'm out.
I don't think he was really ready to go to school. And I wasn't as attuned to what his needs were as a kid as I should have been.
We passed Coach Knight going to a bookstore at IU, and Larry acknowledged, so I said, hi, Coach Knight, and he just kept walking. And it really hurt Larry's feelings.
Plus, I didn't have the funds and the clothing and things I thought I needed to get me through. I made my mind up that I couldn't survive there, and it was time to go.
Upon returning home, Larry would begin working for the city,
here it is.
Collecting garbage, mowing lawns, and disappearing from the basketball radar.
Some days we picked up trash once a week. The next days we might be cleaning the streets. And the guys I was working with were great guys. I knew them all my life, and I'm still grateful that they gave me the job.
What's funny is if he would have continued doing this and stopped playing basketball, he probably still would have been fulfilled. He's just a hard worker. He likes to work hard, and he likes the camaraderie with a group of people who also like to work hard. But it's crazy that could have been Larry Bird, picking up garbage and cleaning up the streets.
Just months later, an 18-year-old Bird would experience rock bottom when his father tragically took his own life.
Yeah.
His father cared very much for his family. Certainly there was talk in town that he had trouble taking home that paycheck, and he would often stop at the bar and not quite make it home. And he killed himself, Larry believes, and I think most of the family believes, so the family could have the insurance money. They had a lot of financial problems, and I think Larry's dad at that point thought they were better off without him than with him.
That's terrible.
Larry's hard to figure out because he doesn't really show emotions.
Anybody who's ever suffered from depression, you know that feeling of the world would be better off without me, and then you go down that rabbit hole. It's a dangerous spiral, and that's when it's time to ask for help. But that's when you don't want to ask for help because you think the world is better without you. It's a hard thing to explain to people who've never been through it, but it's that circle that shuts it off, because you always get the question, why didn't you ask for help? Well, that's because I thought y'all would be better off without me. But why didn't you ask for help? Why would I ask you to help stop me from doing something that I know that's gonna be better for the world? You know what I mean? It's a tricky thing. Even though if your thought was straight and you'd go, no, that's not true. My head's just playing against me here. You don't know that at the time. So at the time you think this is the best choice possible. I have to protect this choice. I can't let anybody stop me from this choice. It's tricky, man.
I'm sure he had a lot of pain. He just holds it inside.
Just ask for help if you can, you guys. If you ever feel in those thoughts, man, just try to break through and ask for help. That's all. Just ask for help. Your brain is working against you. It's turned its back on you for the time. You just need some help.
It definitely was a tough year. There's no question about that. But the one thing that I did was make a decision where I was going to make my own decisions from that point on. And if there was good decisions, that's great. If there's bad decisions, I had to live with them.
Respect.
There's nothing you can do about something like that. I mean, he chose the way he wanted to die, and he did it. And it's just unfortunately that some people have problems like that. But you know, I wish he was here, but he's not. So I had to go on with my life and try to make the most of my life.
Once again, basketball served as an escape for Larry. He never stopped playing, even suiting up with Hancock Construction Company in local adult league tournaments in the area.
I didn't know that.
Most days you could find him behind the French
Hancock Construction Company? He just didn't want to be at school.
Springs Resort, shooting hoops with the kitchen staff. Days you could find him behind the French Lick Springs Resort, shooting hoops with the kitchen staff.
Wow.
Until one day, someone was watching.
His mother ran me off the first time I knocked on the door. She said that Larry had seen all the coaches that he wanted to see and he wasn't going back to school, and she just wished people quit bothering him.
Hidden in the bushes near the court was Bill Hodges, a college assistant coach from Armstrong State in Georgia. An Indiana native, Hodges had driven across the country in a beat-up Dodge Dart, desperate for a shot at a coaching breakthrough. He was down on his luck, out of big opportunities, and running out of time. In a last-ditch effort to change his life, Hodges had reached out to then Indiana State coach Bob King with an idea: signing Larry Bird.
If Bill Hodges hadn't been as persistent as he had been, Larry Bird might never have existed in any of our minds. I believe that with all my heart. I really do.
That's crazy, huh?
I've already been through 50 or 60 recruiters, and I've heard all the BS that they throw. So Coach Hodges was so persistent. You know, he always tried to get to the family. When one member of the family tell him get lost, he'd go to the next member. But I told him, I said, I'll let you know if I want to go to Indiana State, I'll call you. And I got tired of seeing the guy, and then finally we sat down and talked about it, and I just decided on Indiana State. He had a friend named Kevin Carnes that Larry was telling me how Kevin would have been a great player if he'd have gone to college, you know, and he hadn't gone, and he was married, and he was really good. And I said, well, if you don't go to college, they're going to be saying that about you someday, that you would have been great if.
Wow.
One year.
Wow. That's, yeah, good tactic. True, too.
After leaving Indiana University, Larry Bird would sign to play at Indiana State. This was Larry's second chance, and this time, there was no turning back.
You need about to show off in some jeans?
When Larry Bird arrived in Terre Haute, the Indiana State Sycamores were an afterthought on the national stage. No NCAA tournament appearances, no All-Americans.
Crazy.
Just a struggling program in need of identity.
And that really puts it into perspective that they almost won the championship. You know, like it is a huge loss that he faced to Magic. But the fact that we're even there, you know?
Terre Haute is like a small town. It's not a small town. It's got 100,000 people or so, but people treat you like it's a small town. Everybody knows you. And I think Larry felt like it was kind of an extension of French Lick.
Being forced to sit out a year due to NCAA rules, Larry wasn't able to suit up his first year on campus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But it wouldn't take him long to show the coaching staff that he was ready to change the program.
He could practice, and our first five couldn't beat him. Coach King said, Larry, I've got to do something to let the first five win once in a while, and they can't win as long as you're in there. And, you know, Larry kind of smirked, and he said, well, just let them take their beating like a man.
In his very first season on the floor, the team saw a dramatic shift. Bird would average 32.8
It'll make the starting unit tougher anyways, man. It's good for him.
His first collegiate season, doing it with a brand of basketball few had ever seen.
Hold up. I was too busy laughing. I want to hear.
Saw a dramatic shift. Bird would average 32.8 points per game in his first collegiate season, doing it with a brand of basketball few had ever seen.
What the hell, man?
He is knocked out of his hands by King, picked up
32.
by Bird, 3-on-1, Smith in the middle. Smith to Bird, he is there and he's got it.
Well, he was playing in a what's not a power conference. IU's the Big Ten, where Larry's conference kind of lesser, and he carried that with him. I think throughout his life, people doubting him and not respecting where he was from or what he grew up with, and he had to earn that, and he did.
That's the King. Bird shot up, good. Larry Bird with his 44th point, and what a show he has put on here at
Over time, the crowds in Terre Haute grew. Local papers gave...
Mind you, it's 8 minutes less in an NCAA game than an NBA game. It's 40 minutes. The hell? So he's scoring more than a point a minute.
The Sycamores front page headlines, and before long, Larry Bird would be attracting attention from across the country.
To me, it was something very special because I went in there and they had like a 13-13 season. And all of a sudden, you go from having 2,000 and 3,000 people at your games to people can't get tickets.
Wherever Hoosiers gather, they no longer talk of weather. Indiana has a new state bird. Now his claim to fame is just the way.
See what I mean? The music's worth it.
Plays the game. Indiana has a new state bird.
Wow.
Tell us your name.
Indiana's got a new state bird.
Brad Miley. Brad Miley. You're not Brad Miley. Larry Bird. Larry Bird.
It's not the Cardinal now. Hey, Larry, take a bow. Indiana has a new state bird.
Wow.
And you're from French Lick, Indiana. You said it all when you said it. Yeah.
From out of old French Lick on up to ISU, he came to play some basketball.
What position do you play with the team?
Well, as you know, I had to do everything, so I play all positions.
Now we don't know a thing about what the future will bring, but for now we're gonna spread the word.
This is cool.
The fighting Sycamores are racking up
Oh,
man.
Wait.
Spread the word.
Did he even have a chance? Okay, wait. There's no way in hell he's getting this ball. Look where it is already. What do you think? It's out. No, you're not getting it. He tackles the guy. Oh man, don't get between Bird and his ball. What the hell did I just see? Wow.
Larry always says the turning point for him was when Sports Illustrated put him on the cover and they had 2 cheerleaders around him saying, "Shh, the best kept secret in college basketball." Well, not anymore.
Once that came out in the stands, from that point on, it seemed like to me the next year was just total chaos. We had reporters from all over the country, and it seemed like every day somebody wanted me to do something for them. So from that point on, it was very tough.
People were coming down.
He never liked the attention.
From everywhere, other networks, CBS, NBC, ABC, but he didn't have a lot to say. Not that he couldn't say it, it just that he was a little quiet, a little backward.
All of a sudden, you went.
I wouldn't say he's backward. He's just, he's just that kind of guy. He doesn't like to boast or brag or receive a ton of praise or get his ass kissed. He's an old school, hard working dude. He just happened to be one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
His friends to people looking over his shoulders, reporters following you around everywhere you went, people taking pictures, and it was something that I didn't like, and it was tough for me to deal with.
I wouldn't like that kind of life either. I always said I'll be rich, but I don't want to be famous. I never want to be famous. I'll be rich. That's cool. More money's great, but I don't want fame. I want peace.
As the legend of the kid from Indiana had grown, so had his attention from the National Basketball Association. And in the 1978 draft, the historic Boston Celtics would select Larry Bird, 6th overall. Still having a year left in his college eligibility, Larry would make a move that had never been done before or since, electing to remain in college for his final season while the Celtics held his draft rights.
I can remember somebody telling me I was just drafted by the Boston Celtics, and I was saying, "What are you talking about?" I had absolutely no clue that they even had a draft that day.
Wow.
I said, Red, why would you draft this guy, Bird, and you know he's not going to play for this season? And he looked at me and he said, "Do you know how short a period of time a year is?"
Yeah, he wasn't going to go with Boston.
Yeah, you're about to get Bird for what, 10, 11, 12 years? Yeah, 1 year. 1 year's definitely worth the wait.
Money at that time, money was foreign to him. He made $6 an hour. That's pretty darn good.
It really wasn't that tough.
That was $6 an hour, man. In my first job, oh boy, my first job in mid-90s was $5.75 an hour. I think was minimum wage. Yeah, I think so. Then I remember going up to $6, then $6.25, and then I got a job at Fry's Electronics when I was 18, and that paid me $7 an hour. I thought that was huge. That was big money in my mind back then. $7. So Bird was getting paid all right.
My education was there because I knew I would never go back. It really wasn't that tough because I wanted to get my education while I was there because I knew I would never go back. One thing about athletes is they always say, "Well, I'll go back next year and do it," but they never do.
Led by the return of their star, the Sycamores opened the 1978-79 season 29-0, with Larry becoming a national icon in the process. Whether it be his elite scoring or crafty court vision, Bird was in a league of his own, and he was leading Indiana State to one of the best seasons in college basketball history.
Every offense we ran, the first thing we wanted to happen was Larry to touch the ball. And that was our goal, was to get it in his hands 75% of the time that we had it. And boy, you get the ball in his hands, he did a tremendous job with it.
Read the Bird out of the right corner. Let's go, and he hits it.
Number 33, 6'9" forward, Larry Bird. Here they simply call him the Bird, and seeing him play is called bird watching. Ranked 7th among all-time leading college scorers, the Bird averages 29 points a game.
The Bird in the left corner. No warm up at all, and he rips home the 20-footer.
The way we were beating teams was just on pure guts and determination. So we just got in our minds that we wouldn't even get beat.
What's your guys' favorite nickname for him? Bird? Well, I mean, the Bird, Larry Legend, or the Great White Hope? I like Larry Legend, man. That's the one I always stick with. I want to hear yours in the comments.
If we was number 2 and the number 1 team got beat, we should be number 1. And, you know, if they're going to go ahead and rank us up to number 2, they should go ahead and give us number 1. And if we win, you know.
By Larry practicing and playing 100%, you know, he demanded that you play 100%. He demanded that you take a charge or you dive after that ball because he would do the same thing.
And that's what I love about guys like Bird is he is demanding of it, but he will lead by example. Jordan did the same thing. You know, he notoriously said in The Last Dance, you know, I never asked them to do anything I didn't do myself. That's what a leader does.
Larry, a quiet kid now firmly in the national spotlight.
And the goal is if you do it as a leader, then everybody else willingly does it as well. You know, that's just the way that effect, that ripple effect happens. Just the same way that if you don't care, you play lazy and you're the leader, then that ripple effect has a negative. And everybody else is going to be lazy and not care either because you set the tone.
Would win multiple individual awards in the process, including being named the Naismith College Basketball Player of the Year in 1979.
I mean, we'd watched them all year long coming along, and we kind of thought, you know, well, as soon as they get to the tournament, then we'll find out the real thing. And somehow they just kept winning.
Oh, it's all over. There is Larry Bird being congratulated. Reed gets it to Heaton. He's the clutch player.
Wow, what was that shot? Hold on. Up, left. Wow, what a crazy looking shot.
He's the clutch player.
He is the clutch player. Find a way to win, Bird.
They're on to the Final Four.
In the game, Larry, how good does it feel? You're going to the Final Four.
Great. I don't know what to say. We're here. We finally made it. Everything just fell into place.
What if you said, I'd rather be picking up trash?
Good for the college, it was good for the community, and it was good for the players. Everybody involved. It was just something that happens once in life.
Indiana State has won it. The Sycamores are 33-0. It'll be that dream matchup. Urban Johnson of Michigan State.
Here we go.
Larry Bird of Indiana State.
Yeah, so now before we get into the final, that's the context I was missing out of this. Indiana State had no business being here, but Bird was that impact player. They were a 500 ball club before Bird got there. 16-16, I believe he just said. And now here they are going against Michigan and Magic Johnson. This is great. This is what say basketball, y'all.
Irvin
right here.
Magic Johnson.
This is what did it.
A player unlike anyone Bird had ever faced.
It's a dream come true, and like I said, it's an awful important game, and just hope we play our part and win the game.
Magic couldn't wait to give you the best smile and say, how are you, make you feel good. Larry Bird would rather say, don't even say hi to me. I'd rather not get involved with this.
I did not like Larry Bird. He didn't like me. Not because, you know, something happened, but because we were both going after the same thing.
They'll always be linked, won't they? And that's part of the beauty of sports. From that 79 NCAA championship, it's pretty hard to say Larry Bird without thinking of Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
we're
still
never
to
going to
this day.
see a situation like that again, because now we're following kids from like 5th grade. But Larry and Magic, there was a buildup that a lot of people didn't see. You know, Indiana State, a lot of people didn't know the whole story. This whisper starts growing into like a roar of, hey, this kid, look at what Indiana State is doing. And the anticipation builds in a way that you can't get anymore.
It was David and Goliath, flashy versus kind of workmanlike. I think just the timing of it and the undefeated nature of Indiana State and how they're going to do against the big boys from the Big Ten.
You know, the TV ratings back then, people just had 4 or 5 channels to pick from. Now they got 400. But in my case, people really didn't see me play on national TV. I was from a mid-major school. We were undefeated, and we're playing against a Big Ten champion. And I think it just caught everybody's attention.
They called it the Super Bowl of college hoops. On March 26th,
Still the highest rated one of all time, right? Still to this day, viewership-wise?
1979, more than 35 million people tuned in to watch Indiana State versus Michigan State, a number that is still an all-time record to this day. Magic Johnson controlled the pace early, running his signature fast breaks and orchestrating a relentless tempo for Michigan State. Larry Bird struggled to find his rhythm as double teams swarmed. He finished with 19 points, levels below his usual dominance, and Michigan State would go on to win 75-64.
Magic, I thought you did a great job on Larry Bird in the zone denying him the ball.
Yes, Coach gave us a good game plan to go against Larry Bird, and all we had to do was go out and do it. And if we did it, he said we would win. That's what we done.
However, the real story wasn't the final score. It was the arrival of a new chapter.
For sure.
The night would not only cement Magic and Bird as national stars, but would spark a rivalry that was about to carry basketball into a new golden era.
And Bird came in with a chip on his shoulder, and he admits, he was like, he said he played like trash. He played like absolute crap. So he had regrets, and he had a lot of fire in his belly heading into the NBA. And then who would have guessed they'd be rivals in the NBA right out of the gate too, man. It's like poetry. Oops. Daryl Dawkins?
The late 1970s had seen the NBA enter what many consider the dark ages of the league. Long gone were the glory days of Russell and Chamberlain, and the association was struggling to grow its product.
The 70s are a lost decade in the NBA. Like, you have these moments of like, oh yeah, we got Dr. J, and you incorporated the ABA, but the Celtics and the league were coming from such a dark down time where it just felt like maybe professional basketball wasn't going to survive.
If you asked me then, I would say the NBA would have folded by now. Because in the 70s, you could have bought any team, man. Any of those teams for less than $500,000.
Crazy.
Few teams were making money.
That's the average price of a house in America right now, like $450,000, $500,000.
Major sponsors.
Didn't have great.
By the way, you guys, it's like for you nerds out there, it's the equivalent of when Nintendo came out with the NES and saved the gaming industry. It's like the same exact thing. It was at a point that it might actually die, and then in comes the new big dog.
Exposure. But at the time, they were still playing the NBA Finals on tape delay. It wasn't even live TV.
The fatal parquet floor of Boston Garden. This hallmark franchise in the NBA has a serious problem just making the playoffs. I'm done.
We just didn't feel like we had the old Celtics, the old Celtic spirit, the old Celtic tradition.
Dude, he's
became symbolized terrible.
Like, get out of here. You're going to get kicked out and fined. What's he doing bumping the ref like that? I can't believe he didn't get thrown out.
Boston sports. Selfish ball players who wanted the rock, wanted touches, weren't worried about winning.
Yeah.
I think one of them had the quote, "The W's and L's don't show up in my paycheck."
Wow.
It got bad for them in the late 70s.
So that's kind of like we've gotten back to that point now where we are feeling like the NBA might be on its way out eventually. And that is the players' mentality again. W's and L's don't show up on my paycheck. Screw it.
Bad teams would win 22, 25 games, no playoffs. It really bottomed out for them.
The Celtics
if you have a mindset like that and you're a player and you don't care about winning, you just care about the paycheck, then not making the playoffs is ideal because that means you work less, but you get paid the same. You know what I mean?
Searching desperately for a new identity after being stuck in mediocrity. They needed a spark, someone to reignite the franchise and bring championship hope back to the city of Boston.
It was odd that they drafted a player that they couldn't have right away, and it was more frustration for the fans to have to wait again.
Yeah, Bulls did it with Tony Kukoc too.
Said, I don't care if he's coming out. I'm drafting.
I think Sabonis with Portland as well, right?
Now, and we're waiting until he's available. Like they took the chance ahead of time because the rules allowed it back then. Kind of knew that Larry was special.
Well, yeah, I mean nowadays teams they tank. Teams tank in order to get the draft pick they want. In this case, all they had to do was wait 1 year, and they can actually lock down the draft pick they wanted with Bird. It makes sense. What's a year? Then the next year you don't have to worry about tanking. If you do tank, you might get another really good draft pick too.
The only thing that really impressed me is that the Celtics took me and waited a year. I just couldn't believe they would do that. I thought it was awful low for somebody to wait a year without trading me or taking a chance that I wouldn't sign with them. I thought it was very low.
White guy, Indiana State, can't jump, can't run.
He was not fast, he was not quick. I was Larry Bird's biggest skeptic.
We were watching Indiana State games here in Boston. Local TV made sure that they got their games because the Celtics were so bad. And he began to embody and represent hope.
I mean, think about it. Still here in 2026, people who don't know Bird, if they just watch a highlight reel of him, they're like, there's no way this guy could play. He's not that good. You don't know until, he proved every single person wrong one at a time. And it had to happen by you watching, like, you got to watch a full game. Watch one full game of Bird, and you go, oh, I get it. It reminds me of a little bit of Jokic right now. Because, same thing. If you watch a couple of Jokic highlights, you're like, huh, interesting. But you don't think anything big is going on. You watch a full game, you see him do that for 48 minutes, like, oh, I see now. I get the impact he has on the game.
Came to a game, and everybody starts standing up clapping, and I'm thinking, like, what in the hell is going on here? This guy didn't play the game. They don't even know what he's about, but they just think that, he's going to be the difference. Here he came, quote unquote, the savior. So happened, this guy's white, East Boston, South Boston, people could relate to him. And, Larry Bird is a great white hope.
After being drafted almost 2 years ago by the Celtics, and through 2 months of on and off again negotiations, at times quite bitter between two old adversaries, Red Auerbach and attorney Bob Wolf, Larry Bird became a very rich young man this morning. The 6'9" All-America from Indiana State signed a 5-year contract worth more than $3 million, and with that, he's expected to help turn around the Celtic franchise.
I guarantee
5 years, $3 million. That's a good deal.
100% every time I come out, and if I get a torn toenail or something, I won't sit out. I'll play as hard as I can every night, and I hope I can bring excitement to the fans, and I'll never give up.
That's what you want to hear, man. I'm going to work hard for this money.
To come in with a better contract than Magic Johnson.
Well, I don't even know what Magic Johnson's contract is. I never even seen it, never heard of it.
You looking forward to meeting up again with him against the Lakers and maybe getting a little revenge from
Well, I wish I could play him today.
I love
it. I think when Larry first arrived, everybody thought, well,
lace him up.
Now that I don't know if he's going to be able to play in this league.
I mean, he doesn't look all that good, and there's talk about how slow he was. He couldn't jump. He couldn't defend.
Larry Bird felt there wasn't anything he couldn't do on a basketball floor. And, when you have that kind of confidence, there's nothing that you can't do.
They did test me. They do. Every rookie comes in there. Had Roby, had Cowens, Tiny Archibald, and some of the other vets. ML Carr showed up at rookie camp, and they all wanted to test me, and they did. I had no problem with it.
I'm thinking, he's slow. He can't get off a shot. He's not that strong. This is going to be a layup. Bam. Knocks down the jump shot. Okay. Maybe that was luck. Gets the ball again. Bam. Knocks down another jump shot. Now I'm thinking like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm finna D this guy up.
Lock him up.
Show him his luck. 20 feet away. Bam. 25 feet away. Bam. My mind just goes so good. This white guy can play.
Yeah. This is what they're talking about.
ML was matched up against me, and at the time, he led the league in steals, and I knew he had quick hands, but he was just too short. He couldn't guard me.
I love this, dude. I freaking love this. Why is it that when he talks trash, it is the funniest thing I've ever heard, man?
Quite a bit at first. Larry Bird makes a beautiful steal from Bingo Smith. Boy, Bird is really playing a game here in this first shake loose to Larry Bird.
What a pass.
Bird, beautiful pass to floor.
It's just an uncanny sense, and he'll do things out there you just say, and it just leaves you shaking your head and smiling.
Yeah, there's joy in sharing the ball. I always say it. All those ISO ball hogs that we've seen throughout generations of basketball, like, you guys don't get it. Like, there's joy, and it's contagious to share the basketball. Team unity off the charts like this. Chemistry, great.
3-point
There you
shot.
go. Keep the ball
Bird, a
moving.
rebound, and a basket, and he's fouled.
Well, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I grew up in Boston. I was very fortunate to go to a small school where I felt comfortable. I love the city of Terre Haute, but once I left, I was nervous about getting out there, getting settled. But once I got settled in and I got to know my way around a little bit in Boston, I knew it was a perfect fit for me.
In the hard-working Northeast, Larry's grit-filled play style and blue-collar work ethic were right at home. And it wouldn't take long for a young Bird to show the people of Boston that he embodied the city's toughness.
You know, I always played like everybody in the world was against me. Damn. I thought everybody was against me. I used to think up things to get me rattled before a game.
He knew how to fight. I know that from off the floor. One night, somebody was giving one of his buddies a hard time, and Larry went over and, said, hey, this is my friend, and this guy was a pretty good-sized guy. By golly, they go out back, and the guy turns and says something to Larry, and Larry hit this guy, and I caught him. Hit him so hard, I go, whoa. He was from the old school, and that's how he played.
You could tell by this grip as well. Dude, okay. They're pinching, you guys. Like, there is like grabbing someone's throat and like almost shoving them away from you. And then there is this. This is like, I'm choking you. I'm trying to cut off the circulation. You can't see it, but you can tell by the way his hand is. Bird's doing the same thing. He's pinching with that thumb. Like, these two are both old school, from the old school with the old school ways. You go too far, someone might, this might be your last day on earth. And this is such a great image because you'd never see this nowadays. You'd see like a slap or like a soft punch or something. You'd never see two guys choking each other, staring each other in the eyes like this. This could be a movie poster from the 80s.
Larry hit this guy, and I caught him. Hit him so hard, I go, whoa. He was from the old school, and that's how he played.
Larry Bird plays it to the hilt, baby.
Played the game hard. Played rough.
Bird again, and he's doing it all.
I never dreamed that Larry Bird was that good a defensive player. I never dreamed that Larry Bird was that good a rebounder. And I never dreamed that he was that good a passer. I also didn't know that he would always play hurt.
People still don't seem to understand or realize how good he was at everything other than scoring. He had it all.
I said, somebody went into a cave.
Not only he had it all, he was willing to do it all.
Like Indiana, found this cake of ice, started chipping away, and out popped this prehistoric old-time basketball player. He played like the old-timers played.
In his rookie season, Bird's impact was immediate. He averaged nearly 21 points and 10 rebounds per game, instantly lifting a struggling team back into contention. Named the 1980 Rookie of the Year, his game was grounded in fundamentals, but it was his leadership and unshakable confidence that made him a natural floor general.
People already are starting to compare you to some of the all-time greats, in the pro game. Do you think this is fair?
No, not really. I play a whole different game. I try to just do the things that I have to do to win, and I know it takes just more in scoring, so I don't care who they compare me with, I'm still Larry Bird.
Love it.
When I first came in, I knew I had to work on my range because I figured that teams would be putting a smaller guy on me and trying to get me to receive the ball out a little bit further on the court. So I started working on my range a little bit. Then if they backed off of me, I can fake like I was going to shoot and dribble around them. Then in the NBA, once you dribble around, the center always comes to the ball when you get it down low. And once he started coming at me, the passes were easy to make.
Out to Bird. There is some pass to Rogan. They end up with. This is not the way it should be done.
Man.
There's a great pass.
Gotcha. Just basketball IQ,
Larry
man.
would make a bounce pass behind the back on the fast break. And you say, where's this ball going?
Collins going against Bird. Behind the back to Taney.
It's one thing to be able to envision and see what you are going to do in a play before you actually do it. But to do that while seeing and envisioning what everybody else is going to do based on what you're going to do and how to exploit that in real time, to me, that's what basketball IQ is.
You see all of these highlights. Larry, over the head, crazy, no look, just, I know you're supposed to be there. I'm going to throw it to this spot.
It's like watching a cat play with a mouse.
He's so intelligent. He has eyes all around his head.
He's got the smarts.
Bird, very good ball move. Oh, how about that?
You are no country bumpkin.
Larry's great at playing that. Come into my web, said the spider that flies.
And a standing ovation here from this Boston Garden crowd.
The once fallen Giants had found their way back, but while Bird was still learning how to fly in Boston, an old rival was making his own name on the game's biggest stage.
There it is, it's over, and the most valuable player is Magic Johnson. 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. Leads the Los Angeles Lakers to a world championship without Kareem Abdul.
And we just covered the Magic Johnson stuff, so I'll just stay quiet about this one. Yep, first year in.
I needed to do is learn how to win basketball games. Before I got there, I think the Celtics won 28 or 29 games that previous year, and my goal was to win as many as I possibly could.
Same situation he was in college then.
Help them get to where they haven't been in a while.
Moving into his second season in Boston, Larry and the Celtics were hungry for a return to success. 1981 would see Bird continuing his growth into one of the game's top players, and the Celtics would welcome two key pieces to complete its roster. Future Hall of Famers Robert Parrish and Kevin
KG
McHale.
1.0. By the way, you guys, link is down below if you want to subscribe to Trice. I figure after this point, you either love this or you don't love this, and I'm loving it. So link is down below in the description if you want to go check out his channel. He doesn't drop a lot of videos, but when he does, they're great like this.
Well, when you think about it, you have Larry Bird and two guys down low who demand attention. Kevin McHale is one of the greatest power forwards of all time.
And here comes the rookie from the University of Minnesota, Kevin McHale.
And you're putting that next to Larry Bird, and so who do you double? Who do you help off of?
Over his head.
Hey, when I talk about old school toughness and always showing up to work, Kevin McHale, man, he's just like Bird.
Tiny
Beautiful.
Bird behind the back to Parrish.
You get so many ease in basket because you draw so many defensive attention, and you find yourself all alone in basketball and contested layups.
He understood how to get Kevin and Robert shots, and Cedric Maxwell. And he also knew when any of these individuals were not getting enough shots in the game or were not involved in the offense, and he'd make a concerted effort to get them involved.
Oh, we got to see that one again.
In the postseason, Larry and company would continue this same level of dominance, as Bird averaged 22 points and 14 rebounds over the course of the postseason, including a historic 3-1 comeback to lead the Celtics to the NBA Finals.
Good defense, Bird.
It's over. The Boston Celtics have won it, and they go crazy at Boston.
Yes, classic.
And Larry Bird is right in the middle. He's the eye of the hurricane, known as the Boston Celtics, who spotted the Philadelphia 76ers 3 games to 1.
That was probably the best games I ever played in my life. It was a 7-game series, and every one of them was just full of excitement.
After upsetting Magic and the Lakers in the first round, the Houston Rockets awaited the Celtics in the finals. Led by future Hall of Famer Moses Malone, the Rockets were a dominant force in the early 80s, and even held Bird to just 15 points per game. Still, Boston found a way to win the series, ending the Rockets' run in 6 games.
Now with 7 minutes left. Larry Bird.
Oh, that was from this series.
Parrish with 5. Larry
There you go.
Bird with a rebound.
You're winning it with hustle.
Oh, is it physical? Bird again. That was a key play of the game right there. The noise level. Larry Bird, that basketball shot, and he's fouled. You don't expect him to miss very many. Backing up on Reed, off balance shot, but he hit it anyway. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Larry Bird wants a three-pointer. A three-point shot by Larry Bird. He's hit 3 of them down the stretch.
It can be very frustrating because you can do a good defensive job on Larry for maybe 75, 80, 90% of the game even, and yet every time you make a mistake, every time you fail to concentrate and let up, Larry will find a way to hurt you, maybe with rebounding, maybe with passing, maybe a steal, it may be a hoop, maybe a drive, maybe a dish off, but he'll find a way to hurt you.
Ever since I've been in college or in pros, the ball has always came to me. They always want me to do the final shooting or try to hit the last second shot. But they go to me 80 or 90% of the time. I want the ball because I'm supposed to produce in them situations. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, but I want the ball in a crucial situation.
In only his second season, Larry had done what he set out to do: lead the Celtics from the bottom back to an NBA championship.
It's all over. The Boston Celtics have won the World Championship in 1981, and they have become the 14 flag winners for the Boston
It's so crazy that Bird and Magic come out of college into the pros, and then immediately Magic wins a championship, and then Bird wins a championship. We've never seen this again.
Once you win an NBA championship, the whole city's involved.
Yeah.
All your Celtic fans around the country and the whole city. It's just something that's an unbelievable feeling, because it seems like your team, the team that you're on, brought this many people together in a short period of time. It's just amazing what a championship can do.
That's what sport is.
I also would like to thank you as a team for supporting us throughout the year. It's been a great honor to be out here. There's only one place I'd rather be, French Lick. Thank you.
Even though Larry Bird had conquered the basketball world, there was no question that his heart had stayed back home in Indiana.
He wanted to be the Wizard of Oz. He wanted to intimidate people and keep them at bay. The further we are away from each other, the more I like it.
I had a nice little house. I had my little yard. I want to go from there to practice back. If we had a game coming up, I want to go there to the game and back home. It was all basketball. My whole life was basketball.
He relates to a plumber or an electrician or a cop, because that's what he came from.
He knew the janitors and the equipment guys, and those were his guys more than the high roller luxury box guys. Yeah. He doesn't like phonies, stiffs them out right away. I
still feel the same way, by the way. Yeah, no matter what happens in my life, I'm always going to want to be around the working, the average working American, the regular humans. I do not like rich people. I haven't met a rich person I actually like. They're not real. They're just different. They're just different. They live life differently. They're more phony. That's just what I usually see. They're more phony. And honestly, those are the ones who are out there. So the ones who I don't see that are rich, they're probably decent people, but they're not out there just exploiting it. You know what I mean? Demonstrating it, showing it off, all that stuff.
You could come out on Saturday and watch him mow his lawn.
Huge crowd started to stop. Larry Bird's cutting grass in front of his
Love it.
house. He's mowing his lawn in the springtime.
Larry is about doing things himself. And I think it's one of the things that made him so beloved in Boston.
Guys would be bitching about, shoot around practice and having to go back to the hotel. And he'd be like, yeah, we really got it tough here. We got paid to play basketball. Now we got to go back to our 5-star hotel and have this great free lunch and then come back and play basketball tonight and then get on a charter airplane and go to the next place. And this is really a hard life. He just would remind guys how good they have it.
I get a phone
It's like
call
LeBron complaining about the pillows. It's like, what the hell?
2:00 in the morning, it seemed like. And you better get over to Burke's Tavern because Larry Bird's there and God knows what's going to happen. And I thought, thinking, that's not such a great neighborhood. I'd better get over there. And I go over there and he is bellied up to the bar with about 50 people around him. He's wearing a Mack truck cap and overalls. He's just a good old boy. He's having a hell of a time. And everybody around him is relating to him.
Hey, man, let the man have a beer. He can handle himself.
Larry
to work at a high level.
That's why you need a nemesis. Like, that's exactly it. It was in his head the entire time. And what's a beautiful thing, Magic was thinking the same thing out in LA. Bird is still practicing. I got to stay in the gym later. I got to practice more. That's what made it so great.
Everybody else falls in line because this is the man, and he will work. And Larry worked every day.
It was very hard for us as players to look over and see Larry doing drills by himself for an hour and a half after practice, 2 hours after practice, for us not to pay the price.
When the rest of everybody's having a beer and that guy is out there on the floor, that's what makes Larry Bird so damn great.
The difference between being good and being great, it's just hard work.
84 Larry was just awesome. I mean, it was just unbelievable how he could improve his game. You never thought that he could take it to a different level, and he was able to do that.
First quarter, here is Bird, 3-point. Larry looking inside on the cut to Henderson. Beautiful pass by Bird.
You know, I just remember the first time I was watching Celtics basketball as a kid, and I just saw Larry and his teammates, but it was just like, these guys never miss.
Bird got Chambers on him.
Tough shot.
This is worth look at that. For the offense. Nice pass from Bird. That's Towers for him. Bird with it. Larry, three-pointer. It's good! Larry Bird, a three-point shot.
A freshly motivated Larry Bird would prove to be the best player in the world in 1984. He elevated his game in every statistical category and played with the confidence that would go on to define his career. This was the season that the world saw the birth of Larry Legend.
Larry got on the roll, started shooting the ball. Every shot was going in. All right, he runs by Frank Layden, who's the funniest guy in the league. And Frank is coaching, and Larry says, "Hey, Frank, don't you have anybody on that bench who can guard me?" He goes, "So nobody out here can." Frank looked down at the bench and goes, "No."
So I even heard him tell the coach, "Hey, look, coach, you better get somebody else out here to grab me because I'm killing this guy."
Or he'd say, "Danny, give me the ball," or "DJ, give me the ball. I got this guy in the torture chamber down here." Why the guy was standing right there listening to him say it.
That's so great.
How do you do?
Chambers, oh yeah, I remember this. That's so messed up too, right in front of the player. Like, hey man, this guy's on me. I'm about to cook him. Give me the ball.
He just knew what he had to do.
And did you do it?
He knew where he had to be. Supreme confidence in his work, in himself. The confidence comes from the work, and no one worked harder than Larry. Magic will say he worked as hard, but no one worked harder.
By the end of the regular season, Bird had silenced any critics that were left, winning the NBA's MVP trophy for the first time in his career. However, anyone who knows Larry knows that the season's goal was still incomplete, and after a dominant postseason, Bird would have the Celtics back in the finals where they belonged. And who would be waiting for the Celtics? None other than Magic Johnson and the Lakers.
Here we go. Had to get through my sons first, huh?
Kareem has got it, and it's Boston. Here we go.
The Celtic-Laker thing went back to when the Lakers were in Minneapolis. I mean, when the Celtics beat them, I think the first 6 or 8 times they played the NBA Finals.
And the Boston Celtics are the world champions.
And time has run out, and the Boston Celtics have done it again. Another jewel.
Everything just landed perfectly. You got the right guy in Larry Bird for what the Celtics needed, and Magic for who he was personality-wise with the Lakers.
That was perfect.
And suddenly, 2 historically great franchises are reborn.
Playing against Magic, that was something that I always dreamed about since he beat us in college.
You know, you walk around and everybody is talking about this series. We had more writers and TV people and made it so big. I mean, everything was written was Bird versus Magic, Magic versus Bird, that whole thing. And it was so intense,
It was huge. It was probably the biggest moment the NBA had up to that point. You had Boston and LA, East against West. It had all the elements of a classic showdown.
You know, we were the favorites and we made our way. They won the East, we won the West. So it's like everybody just get ready, sit back, and let's do it.
Round 2.
The
Lakers and the Celtics. So many memories, so many golden moments. Now we are ready to start again, and we have two of the brightest stars to break in on the basketball scene in the last decade.
For 5 years, Larry Bird had been waiting for this moment. Another opportunity to beat Magic Johnson on the sport's biggest stage. But as the '84 finals got underway, Larry was faced with an all too familiar feeling.
Here come the Lakers. It's a 4-on-2 right now. And it's Kurt Rambis inside the Magic who completes the fast break. Larry Bird against Cooper. Johnson doubles in a steal by James Worthy. It's Worthy all the way. The foul was on Rambis, his second. Here's another break.
Freaking James Worthy.
And the Lakers, when they get the running game going, forget it. Johnson behind Parrish going in. This has to be one of the most decisive routes in championship game history. The Lakers 137, the Celtics 104, and the Boston Celtics now trail the Lakers 2-1.
I just feel that, we got some great players on this team, but we don't have the players with the heart sometimes that we need. And until we get our hearts where they belong, we're in trouble.
Despite Larry's efforts, the Celtics would find themselves down 2-1 in the series. And in Game 4, it seemed they were on the verge of a deadly 3-1 deficit. But a moment at the end of the game would flip the series on its head.
Oh, man.
Kareem, outlet to Worthy. Rambis.
Yeah, that was a little much.
Let's watch it. Cooper and the Celtics.
I'll always say that was a little much.
When Kurt Rambis got taken out.
Yeah, this was not a play on the ball. This was not a basketball play anymore. That could have ended Kurt Rambis' career, and I really like Rambo.
We start fighting instead of playing.
Kareem.
Yeah, it's not basketball anymore at a certain point.
Gillian and Larry Bird.
But it's hella entertaining as a fan to watch.
And it made us realize we were not mentally tougher than the Celtics.
Bird takes the shot. It's gone!
And once again, before the Bad Boy Pistons, this was, the Celtics were setting this kind of tone. We're tougher than you, and if you emotionally react and you get distracted by it and you start trying to fight us instead of beat us in a basketball court, we're gonna win the game. Bad Boy Pistons inherited the exact same mindset. The only way to overcome is to not get distracted by the fighting or whatever cheap shots are happening, and just focus on winning. It's the only way to beat these guys. That's hard.
And the Boston Celtics have even this NBA World Championship Series at 2 games apiece. And those who are writing the obituary for the team that have won a record 14 NBA titles can just pause.
So it's 2-2. We come back to Boston. It was the friggin' hottest day. There was no air conditioning in the garden. It was 1,000,000 degrees.
And Celtic fans now are entering the hottest place in this city, literally.
Kareem had oxygen on the bench over on the other side. And Larry played like it was air-conditioned, perfect climate. He did nothing. He just had a mental state.
Larry Bird.
It's a good thing about practicing outside when you're a kid.
Larry Bird. Bird. A three-pointer.
No air conditioning. Right at home.
Kareem in 1 out of 2. Larry Bird with a three-point play. Hayes finds an open Bird. Takes Rambis. 1 second. It's not.
Game 5 would see Boston win by 18 points at home, led by another 30-point outburst by Larry. And despite dropping Game 6, the Celtics were determined to send their rivals home empty-handed in Game 7.
And get down to the 7th game, that's what it's all about. And one game for the title, and it was on our home floor.
If you could bottle all the emotion that is released in a basketball game, you'd have enough hatred to start a war and enough joy
and
to
it definitely
one.
delivered to their to the NBA fans. 7-game series is exactly what you wanted. Imagine if this was a 4-game sweep. Big disappointment after all the build-up. That would suck.
And here tonight in the ancient Boston Garden, we'll run the entire gamut of emotions. And when we're finally finished, the survivor will receive this trophy. the Larry O'Brien Trophy for being the NBA World Champion.
Hi there once again, everybody. This is Johnny Bones. Live off courtside here at the Boston Garden.
I'm Chick Hearn. And tonight, the 7th game of the World Championship,
where the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers get ready for
the World Championship of Basketball 1983-84.
In game number 7.
Bird, smothered, goes up anyway. And here's Kareem at the other end. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with an incredible play. Scott, Worthy, and Wilt. And there was James Worthy.
No one believed that we could beat the Lakers that year. Absolutely no one believed it. But the fact of the matter is, we believed in ourselves, and that was a lot because of the leadership Barry had.
Here's Magic off the mark.
This is what all that extra work and practice was all about.
Chucking down the court.
He's not getting tired out here.
Bird. How does he do it?
We played hard. We got all the loose balls. We did the things that was necessary for us to win.
Final second.
So crazy.
The Boston Celtics are the NBA World Champions.
Man. Before the malice in the palace, things like this could happen, I guess.
Those Boston Laker finals were like the Ali Frazier of the NBA. Really put them on the map.
Congratulations, you were the most valuable player. Does this get you even with Magic for what happened between Michigan State, Indiana State, all those many years ago?
Yeah, we're professionals now, but I won this one for Terre Haute.
You won it for Terre Haute, I'll tell you.
Hey, you know deep down inside he's thinking 1-1 Magic.
I think for Larry, it was a little measure of revenge because he sees Magic as his direct competition. They are so intertwined. They push each other. Larry isn't as good as he is without Magic. Magic never gets as good as he is.
Yeah, it's like
Larry.
what Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were supposed to be, except for only one of them delivered on the promise, and now it's Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese, man. Wow, what a bust that ended up being. There's so much better talent in the WNBA than Angel Reese, yet she gets brought up so much. It's crazy.
They push each other.
And I get it. They're trying to do their version of Bird and Magic. But if Bird or Magic, if one of them didn't deliver on the promise of being great, then it wouldn't have been a rivalry anymore.
Thinking about the other guy, what's he doing to get better? I have to be better.
Would have just been an ass kissing. Or I'm sorry, an ass kicking.
The way they competed. I mean, they were two halves of the same brain.
Same craziness to excel.
I seen that first couple of days I was with him.
Basketball IQ off the chart.
Seen the game a little different, most players.
Playing the game the right way was everything.
A lot of guys can just score. A lot of guys can just rebound. A lot of guys can just make plays. We can do it all.
In the span of just 5 years, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson had combined for 4 NBA championships and produced a rivalry that would elevate the NBA to new heights.
Both of those men brought an unselfishness and a winning attitude and a quality to the league that began to become contagious.
When I played, Larry Bird was the only one I feared. A lot of black guys always ask me, could Larry Bird really play that good? I said, man, Larry Bird was so good, it's frightening.
You got this slick Showtime African-American guy out west, and you got the lunch bucket, floppy-haired white guy with the bruises all over his body. It's Central Casting.
Yeah, it is. It really was.
None of this happened.
It really was.
Without some
And
bit
the
of
thing
luck.
is at a time where basketball was not near its pinnacle, you got let's just cut the bullshit here. You got a guy with dark skin and you got a guy with light skin. So anybody who's not even into basketball, but you can get behind your guy, so maybe white guys like Bird, maybe people with dark skin like Magic. It doesn't mean you had to like basketball. You can just be like, all right, I'm rooting for that guy. You know what I mean? So I think somehow between this contrast, there was so many new fans to basketball to come in, and their first favorite player was either Bird or Magic. And then you had the rivalry to come with it. And then you learn about other players. If you're a Bird fan, you end up being a Magic fan, after the rivalry's over. And it's just the way it goes. But, I mean, to just point out the obvious, the fact that one of them was black and one of them was white, I think it ended up being the perfect thing. And they had opposite personalities. One was, more, he was Hollywood, and the other is literally a country boy. It's representing everybody. Someone can relate to one of these guys. Everyone can relate to one of these dudes, and it was a perfect storm. And it's just crazy how it happened, because it happened organically.
Right? Like, Magic and Larry had to play each other in college. You had to have that thing happen, because Larry had to
and even
lose.
if you didn't like the NBA, so many people watched this game. So many people did. So you could not like the NBA, but you know about Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. So there's always that thing.
To come in and be what he was. Magic had to become what Jerry Buss made him. He had to become Showtime Lakers.
I mean, this was like made in heaven. In 1979, this idea of Magic and Bird was created. And so that was sort of a no-brainer.
We start getting tons and tons of coverage. We went from playing late night on TV to playing prime time.
These two guys generate huge television revenues and start the process of resuscitating the NBA from a league that was hemorrhaging money in many cities to a league that could start to garner big contracts from the television networks.
I wish there was a way to quantize how much money these two guys made for the NBA. Like, I wish there was a way to just track it by the dollar.
The Celtics playing first and the Lakers playing second, and that's the way we did it.
Yeah, East Coast first. Yeah, still to this day.
Basically go to opposite coasts for teams that are already in this incredible rivalry. It's almost like Hollywood writers wrote these characters and they played them perfectly.
I had it good as a basketball fan because, Michael Jordan was my guy who got me into the game. But then immediately after that was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I got brown skin. So, I love them both. I really did. Like, I fell in love with all three players immediately. And then it was Dr. J, Kareem, these guys. But, really my main three was Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson. And what a great three basketball players to just... One's a pass first guy, one's a mid-range first guy, and then there's Michael Jordan high flying. That's what the 80s were like. Great time to get into basketball.
The magnificent number 33.
And also I didn't have to it's funny because none of those guys were Phoenix Suns players. It wasn't until Kevin Johnson that I really got into the Suns. But my original draw towards basketball was Chicago, Boston, and LA.
Would bring more individual success for Larry, as he had one of the best seasons of his career on the way to a second straight MVP award.
There was a night in Utah, they were killing the Jazz, and he had 9 steals and the triple-double in the other 3 categories easily at the end of 3 quarters. And I got the box, and we were sitting right near him. One more steal, he's got a quadruple-double, I ran down with the score sheet and, tapped him on the shoulder. I said, get back in there. Look at this thing. All you got to do is... He says, get out of here, Scoop. I don't care about that.
And that's why we criticize guys like LeBron for staying in during a blowout to stat pad and get a triple-double. This is what we like. Yeah, I don't give a damn. We already beat them. We already kicked their ass. Game over. I'm sitting down. Who cares if I get one more steal? What, does that make me good all of a sudden and I'm not good now? Who gives a damn? We won the game.
It seemed like they were just throwing me the ball all the time. I always had it in my hands.
Throws it right in the hands of Bird.
Put a lot of numbers up, but numbers don't mean nothing. The win is more important. It's always good to reflect back like today and say, yeah, that's right, I did get 9 steals and I had a triple-double. But getting a quadruple-double meant nothing to me. Really, you go into a game and when you're up by 25, 30 points, just for his steal, makes no sense to me. I did enough.
That's my guy.
Already.
That's why Bird's my guy, right there. That's shoot. I couldn't have. Yeah, he nailed it. That's exactly it. Wow.
It was also during
Send
the
that clip to
85
LeBron.
season that Bird would put on a performance that lives on in NBA lore. Having watched Kevin McHale score a then Celtics record 56 points just days prior, Bird had told Kevin that he should have gone for 60, and came back the following game with what many consider the best performance of his career.
We're playing the Celtics, and he tells me, "Hey, big fella, you're in a little trouble tonight." Well, I was coming from Italy. I had a pretty good season, so I'm like, "Who's he think he's talking to? I'm the big dog. You don't get this." So he made a few moves. I stole the ball from him. I went down, took off, dunked on his head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has some talent. I mean, he's way up.
Came down another one. Boom.
Taken away by Antoine Carr.
Seriously,
Carr
a
can
second
really
one?
handle it. 3-on-2, Carr all the way. He jams. And
2-on-1.
Yeah, baby Hawks.
Or 1v2.
You in trouble. And I'm running my mouth, which I should have done. I guess I got him fired up. Larry just decided, that's it. I'm finna like this.
Dude,
whole
Antoine,
team.
he already came in there fired up. That's why he was warning you that you're in for a long night. You just added extra gasoline to that.
Off to Bird for the open 20-footer.
That's great. I respect it though, man. Someone tell you they're going to torch you tonight, you go at them. You don't just stay there and take it.
He's unbelievable.
Is this the game, by the way? Is this the game where their bench is about to go crazy? I think so.
Again, a three-pointer. You're seeing the greatest in the game, Larry Bird.
Larry, that game was unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. Dominique guarded him, Cliff guarded him, Antoine Carr guarded him, I guarded him.
Bird. They open the right side. Bird the fall.
Yep.
He holds it again. That's the best shooting I've ever seen in this.
There's Dominique on him.
Dennis Johnson,
who else?
The lead for Bird. They want him to keep scoring.
Couldn't even tell who that was. He just shot right over him.
He makes a jump shot, and the Atlantic players are high-fiving each other like, man, this guy's so hot.
Bird, 14
Hold on a
seconds.
second. So he played until 1993 with the Celtics. Okay. It's been a while.
He hit the shot. I think it's the greatest shooting exhibition I've ever seen. Larry Bird.
Where he made the shot so well that it's like he almost dunked on me because the ball went down through the net and you could hear that.
With 3 seconds, Bird will try another
explosive.
Bird has 60 points. It is the greatest shooting exhibition I've ever seen in my life. Larry Bird.
And he was doing it with jump shots.
Despite leading Boston to 63 wins and passing through the Eastern Conference playoffs with ease, Bird and the Celtics would find no gold at the end of the rainbow, falling to the Lakers in the 85 finals.
That's fitting.
Rematch.
So Larry gets his revenge on Magic and reignites this rivalry. And now the Lakers are very willing participants, and because of Magic, now they get to throw some counterpunches.
Short, and here are the Lakers 3-on-2. Worthy goes in, and that's a Laker fast break.
Out is Buckner. Nice play. Buckner loses to Magic. Magic first.
It's funny. So it went Magic, Bird, then Magic again. It's like we're just taking turns being champs. Talk about Eagles.
LA comes to Boston and wins the world title.
You go through the season, you play hard, and you get in the playoffs, and you try to do the best you possibly can. But I just say that this series, I didn't play up to my standards. If they want this game more than you, we won the win. They just played better.
Wow.
You need to lose.
Yeah, we wanted to win, but he's saying he played below his standards, and they played better than us. Good leader.
Lose.
Good leader.
To make the wins feel like that much better.
Yeah, that must have felt so sweet.
I'm sure everybody in Boston would love if Larry won every championship and beat the Lakers every time. But story-wise, the loss has to happen for the next win to be
agreed.
Sweet.
Yeah, if not, there's a difference between just dominating somebody and having a rivalry. You have to lose some to have a rivalry.
In the summer of 1985, one moment would set off a chain reaction that haunted Bird for the rest of his career. While shoveling gravel to pave his mother's driveway back home in Indiana, he would tweak a muscle in his back.
So wait, was it? I always get this wrong. Was it his mother or his grandmother?
For the rest of his career. While shoveling gravel to pave his mother's driveway.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? After hearing this whole story too, though, the same mom that was busting her ass, working 2 jobs, walking the kids to school, like getting them ready, walking the 2 jobs back and forth. Yeah. Whatever mom wants. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'll do this for you, mom. No problem. Totally understand, man. Bird, if you're going to injure your back doing something, helping your mom out, that was the way to do it. Worth it.
Back home in Indiana, he would tweak a muscle in his back, an injury that lingered for years.
He was a cheap son of a gun, and he'd be like putting in fences at his mom's or putting up a basketball hoop.
Larry decides to do it himself. This is Larry Bird, the superstar, out there breaking his back, literally.
That's what made him Bird.
And that was the beginning of a process.
The pain was severe enough that Bird considered sitting out the 1986 season for surgery. But that summer, he got word that former league MVP and future Hall of Famer Bill Walton wanted to join the Celtics to end his career. Hearing this, Bird pressed on, and the '86 Celtics would become one of the most dominant teams in NBA history.
Well, I think the 1986 Celtics is the best NBA team ever.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
Great pass by Walt.
Once again, why modern LeBron fans expected the Bulls in '86 to somehow beat this team? I don't understand that.
To the middle with his left hand.
Like, this was the team.
To Danny for 2.
When we went to work,
Bill Walton coming off the bench like a monster was something special.
Punched in the clock, for help. I'm on the assembly line, and my job is put the radio knob on the radio. I'm putting the radio knob on the radio, and the other guy's putting in the buttons and putting on the antennas. And Larry was the antenna man, and we were the button man.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Ahead to Larry Bird. To McCann. Beautiful.
I played on some really good teams, but nothing quite like that one. We just felt that nobody could beat us, not in a 7-game series.
Bird, little fake on Barkley, backdoor McHale. Bird gets the rebound. Larry down court to Robert Parrish. Beautiful pass and a stuff by Roberts. That's why it's nothing. Beautiful.
I think what made that team so special was its ability to play any kind of style. We could play the setup game, we could play the fast break game. We had great defense, great rebounding, and then if nothing was working, hey, we could always just give it to Larry, and he'd step back.
Bird's three-pointer. Oh, he bangs in another.
Do you guys remember Bill Walton being a commentator for the NBA in the 2000s? Man, throw it down, big man, throw it down. Those good times. He was hilarious.
Continues to play the way he's been playing. He'll be on his way to a 3rd consecutive MVP award.
So this is when he got his 3rd. 3rd for Bird.
It's a three-pointer. Bird on Barkley. Yes.
Like, he's a maestro. He's conducting out there. He's a puppeteer.
This tempo, Atlanta. Dominique is going to have a big night.
Johnson. Bird over AC Green.
Okay, you want to play it this way? No problem. I can beat you here, force you to adjust to me, and then I will do something else to counter your adjustment. And then when you adjust to that, I've got to counter to that.
How smart is he?
Magnificent play by Bird.
As he's eroding your confidence on the inside, he's chipping away at it with his mouth on the outside.
I get a charge when I'm telling someone on the opponent's team that I want to hit the last second shot and do it. That's what it's all about.
He said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
5, and Bird has
nice
the
double team.
Look out. Larry Bird, just phenomenal.
CKD, you're not the first guy to get double teamed, man. It's okay.
came out, went right about that exact spot, shot a shot right in my face. And, you know, he was like, I didn't even leave 2 seconds on the clock.
Larry used to come in the locker room. He'd be getting his ankles taped, and he'd say, you know, hey, ball boy, run in and go find the scoring record in this building. You know, he needed those kind of challenges.
He had accomplished every goal. We hadn't lost a game on the trip. And Larry told all of us players and the media too, tomorrow night's the last game of the trip. I'm going to play this with left-handed at least through 3 quarters.
Jerome Kersey's guarding Larry. I think his first 8 or 10 points were left-handed.
Bird against Kersey.
Oh, man.
And so we score. Larry scores his
Johnny Arnett's got a really cool video I reacted to a while back covering this game.
On some kind of left-handed shot, and Mikhail goes, hey, Jerome, wait till he starts shooting right-handed.
When should I switch? Oh, there we go.
For Bird, another 3-point try.
Well, left-handed is one thing, but when the game got close, I had to go back to the right one. I think it went right down the wire, and we might have won by 1 point.
You're right there. You got to keep them under control. They don't.
We just didn't think we were going to lose, and we lost some games throughout the year. I can remember one in particular where I was mad at Kevin and Bill before the game. They were messing around in Dallas, and I was very upset, so I went out and I told them, I don't need you guys. I'll win it by myself. I score 50 and we lose.
Oops.
But I made my point.
2-man game for Boston. Larry Bird only needs 1-man game.
There's another time we played San Antonio where Larry was like 10 for 10 from the field, 10 for 10 from the line.
Bird winds up 3-pointer. Yes, Larry Bird. This week tries another one. Of course. Why not?
Early in the fourth quarter, we beat him by about 20. And he told Casey, he goes, this isn't any fun, coach. Take me out. He goes, this isn't. He goes, you know, they're not even a challenge tonight.
Bird's turnaround. What a show.
He'd tell you where he's going. He'd tell you when he catches it, there's nothing you can do about it. And it was great.
It sounds like Byron Scott.
Because it wasn't vulgar. I mean, he wasn't pounding his chest. You can just be standing next to him. You know, I would jump out and try to block a shot on rotation, and he'd say, Scott, you're not getting that. You know, after the game and after years of thinking about it, you're like, man, that dude is one of the greatest players ever played.
You now join Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in the 40-year history of the NBA to win the league's MVP award 3 years in a row.
Wait, who was in that company?
The Celtics would...
Only players in the 40-year history of the NBA to
like, man, that dude is one of the greatest players ever played.
You now join Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain as the only...
Of course. How fitting. All right, so the Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Larry Bird, the only 3 to get 3 consecutive MVPs.
Continue their dominance in the postseason, losing only 1 game the entire playoffs, on their way to a 3rd straight NBA Finals appearance.
And the Bulls got close, but no, double
This
overtime,
time,
just not good enough.
Would be set for a rematch with the Houston
Close
Rockets.
to winning 1 game, I mean.
And it would be one of the best performances of Larry Bird's career.
On a turnover again. Bird in 3-point territory. Working against McRae. Larry Bird. Bird, ball away. And the Celtics. Bird.
I love the way he fully commits to his fakes. It's such an old, you know, like an old head hooper kind of move, but it works. Like, let me just show you again. Like, look, he's gonna fully commit to this fake. There you go. When the ball is here, his vision is here. So as far as he's concerned, the ball is gone. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by the full commit that he always does. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what's up anymore.
Last resort, 3-pointer from the corner. And Ames releasing the other way, gets 2 of them back. Bird in the 3-point range. Hits another. Spread out to defense. Beautiful fast break. Bird, 3.
I think Larry was the mystique. I think Larry was the confidence. The parquet floor and the championship banners didn't mean anything if Larry Bird wasn't on the court with us.
Yeah, look at
2
that.
seconds on the shot clock.
Wait. I just want to watch that again. All right, so he's going out, and then he sees, we got guys coming in from this way. He's like, uh-oh, gotta go away from it. Oop.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Bird wants a 3.
Such a funny looking play.
over. The Boston Celtics are the world champions for the 16th time.
I've always felt that, and still feel that that's the best team I've ever seen in this league. I'm sure Magic's got a team he liked to throw up against.
And so does MJ.
To me personally, I thought that's the best team ever assembled.
And the funny thing is, it's still a debate, and I think it'll always be a debate. Which one is the greatest? You know, and I don't like just going based on record either. So like 72-10, yeah, I get it. Why a lot of people vote that in, but I don't know. I just don't know. There's been some great teams.
Out of 40, the greatest winning tradition. You did it with hard work.
Give me my trophy.
You've earned it. It's yours.
Do you see that? The Reds like, give me that damn trophy.
1986 crowned Larry Bird not just as a champion, but as a basketball immortal. 3 championships in 6 years, 3 straight MVPs, a second finals MVP, and a team many still call the greatest in NBA history. That being said, at the summit, there's only one direction left to go, and as the 87 season tipped off, the first cracks quietly began to form.
Yeah, well, he didn't get that surgery, so.
In the physical 80s, your window of success is only so wide, and with injuries mounting and the league changing, the next chapter wouldn't be about dominance. It would be about survival.
Goes underneath. This is off now. And there is a violent knockdown by
Always Lambier. Billy's always at the center of this stuff.
Oh my! He pulled Bird to the ground.
And I know there's some of you regulars that are big Detroit fans, and I know you guys love Bill Lambier, but as an outsider, he was always at the heart of the problems, though, wasn't he? But I concede. It turns out he is a pretty good jump shooter.
In 1987, the Celtics were still fighting like champions. In the Eastern Conference Finals against the rising bad boy Pistons, they pulled off one last miracle, surviving a brutal 7-game war that delivered.
Oh man, but the 80s were different. I don't see it like Kevin Durant. I don't see the difference. Yeah, you don't see a difference.
A brutal,
you don't see it. Nothing.
7-game war that delivered one of the most iconic moments in playoff history.
There's Bird with the ball against the
Oh no, that looked like a clean block though.
And C-Sting hit it off of a Detroit player. No.
When I drove in,
I mean, probably a foul though. But I mean, hold up. I was too busy looking for something dirty. Up you go. I mean, yeah, that's a foul because there's contact. Both then the defender is in the air. I think that's a foul. What do you guys think?
It's blocked. And C-Sting hit it off of a Detroit player. No.
When I drove in there, everything closed down, and when I went up, the shot was blocked. I didn't know who blocked it. You know.
Oh.
And
ooh, different angle. Ooh. And the ref is right there. You know what? With this angle, there is no contact, is there? Is that Isaiah going straight up and down? I think so. Okay, my bad. I take it back. Good defense.
Bounds. The referee's got the ball, and I'm on the floor, and I seen Lambier go into the baseline, get the ball. And I thought a timeout was coming because I knew they had a timeout left. They could advance the ball, but Isaiah gets it and throws a lob pass.
So the ball goes out of bounds, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get it to Lambier. He's one of our best foul shooters, big guy. So I'm gonna put it up in the air, and it was like in slow motion. It was like the ball like goes up in the air.
The steal by Bird. Bird, DJ Jellies it in. Crazy.
What a play by Bird. Bird stole the imposing pass.
I mean, I see it though. He was 1 second he's all alone under the basket. The next second, in comes Larry Bird. That is the entry pass you would go for. It just got you.
kick it off to DJ, and he lays it up and in, and I think there's 1 second left on the time, and we end up winning the game.
Boston had reached the finals once again, giving Larry Bird one final collision course with Magic Johnson and the Lakers.
Nobody gets you up more than Boston. As long as Larry's on the other side and I'm on this side, it's going to always be that. And after it's over, when we play in these all-star games, these old-timer games, we're going to want to beat each other. And after that, when I see him on a park and recreation, I'm going to want to kill him then, too. He gonna
Makes me wonder if they ever, like, after retirement, just got together and hooped. Played a game of horse or something like that, you know?
Against the Lakers, you get this type of feeling where, you know, you feel like you got to win. You got to win. I don't care if they win one game out 4 or 5 or 7. You still got to win. You got to beat them.
What had started off as a fierce rivalry between the two had morphed into a mutual respect as high as any in the
Choose
history
your
of
weapon.
sport.
Yeah, this is great. Like, it's so smart. Like I was saying earlier, like, pick your guy. Pick your guy, and it also comes with fashion. You know, pick which one you like. What do you relate to? Go ahead and pick them. Get on board. Watch basketball. This is great.
But this time around, the worn-down Celtics, battered from the postseason, couldn't keep up with the Showtime Lakers, falling in 6 games.
In '87, I was the healthiest one on the roster.
No.
That's not saying much. I felt pretty good. I know Robert had ankle injuries, and Kevin had broke his foot. And just
this was the season where Kevin broke his foot, and Kevin McHale, that is, and everyone told him to shut it down, but he basically said, I saw that we have a chance to win a championship this year. Like, we have such a good team. I can't not play. So he kept playing on his broken foot. This really significantly shortened his career, but you know, that's just the type of guy he is.
It made us feel good. You know, we didn't win it, but we got there. And if somehow a miracle happened, maybe we could have pulled it off. But it was a gratifying season, though we didn't win it. Usually when you lose, you always say, well, you know, it's a bad year,
Yeah.
But not there. I mean, we fought, scrapped, did everything we could to get back there and try to win it, and we did. And just unfortunately.
Yeah, that's one of the unspoken things about winning a championship is health. Health at the end of the season. They did not have it.
The following year, Bird would give everything he had to keep the Celtics in contention.
Throws it out with the left hand for 2.
He averaged nearly 30 points per night, his second highest
he never
mark
fixed his
ever,
back, by the way.
Showing the game that he was still capable of being the best player in the world.
That time Golden State moved the ball and got the 15-foot of it. It's making it much more active. Wow.
The basket for Larry Bird.
I was teasing about his free throw. He had a free throw streak going, coming up on Calvin Murphy's then record. The NBA was 88 or something like that. And he asked me, "What are you writing tonight before the game?" And I told him I was writing about your free throw streak. Don't miss it. It's going to make you look bad in the early paper. And sure enough, you know, back then we sat right next to the bench court, and we were lined up. He was shooting free throws in the first half. He made the first, looked over the recap before making the second.
And the Celtics bring it up court to Larry Bird from 3. Yes! Larry Bird! Woo! A 3-point shot with 4 seconds to go, and the Celtics lead by 1.
My teammates knew at the end of the game, if it's close, I was going to take the shot.
You can't double yet. Now you can quickly. First jumper.
Right with MJ there. Pax. There's Pippen and MJ, and he still got the shot off.
But Larry,
oopsie.
You got to keep it close.
Hold up.
And he has a chance. But Larry Bird, because if you keep it close, and he has a chance to win it.
Yeah. You got to beat him by 10, not by 2.
Bird, a runner. It's good! It's good! And the Celtics win it!
He was a cold-blooded killer. In the last 24 seconds, he would demand the basketball.
Got a drop. Get it! And it's got it! The 3-5 fail goal!
Larry Bird never quits and never sits dying. He always feels that he has a chance to win the game.
And everybody playing with him has that same feeling because they got Bird.
I didn't really know if I wanted to be in the 3-point contest until a couple of my teammates told me I wouldn't win it anyway. So then I had to go out and prove to them that I could win the thing.
But I walked in the locker room, and guys are sitting there, and, you know, they're nervous. Now, you got to understand that a lot of these guys came off the bench.
then all of a sudden they're going to go out there in front of 20,000 people, 46 eyes on them shooting the basketball.
Right.
That's got to be intimidating. For me, I like that because I knew the pressure was on them more than me.
And Larry walks in and says, I hope all you guys in here are thinking about second place because I'm winning this.
And that's Craig Hodges. What was it, 3-time?
It's really a
or 2-time champion.
Place because I'm winning this.
3-time champion. He was my favorite. He was the one who got me into the 3-point contest, honestly, Craig Hodges. He even came back to defend his title after he was no longer a Chicago Bull. He wasn't in the NBA anymore. Loved it. We had him all recorded on VHS, me and my bro.
Well, then I had to go out and win it.
With the warm-ups on.
Make it 9.
With his warm-up on.
And 10. 11 as we're counting. 13.
Huge rack that time for Bird.
We still got to drop one here quickly. 14. This is a tie for the money.
And it's so funny because Danny Ainge is his opponent in this, but he can't help but just be like, wow. Look at this guy. He's on my team.
In Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Celtics and Hawks would battle in a legendary playoff game. One where Hawks forward Dominique Wilkins and Larry Bird would go bucket for bucket in one of the greatest scoring displays in NBA history.
Bird was having an okay game up until the fourth quarter. Kevin Willis came over and said, Nick, don't let him score tonight. And Bird standing there. Next time I'm looking at Kevin, what are you doing? You know, his Bird eyes got like this big.
Tied at 88 with Bird in play now, putting Boston ahead.
I love how similar these stories are about Bird to like you fast forward a couple years. Same thing was happening with Jordan. Like off the top of my head, the KG story. Like don't say that loud enough for him to hear it. Like what are you doing? I got to guard him.
18 points for Bird. Bird attempting to break free.
Yeah, if that's going in, you're in trouble. If a shot like that's falling.
When he made that shot, I said to myself, I said, I got to come down there offensively. I got to carry the load now. I got to keep us going.
2 lead changes. The Celtics once were up by 6.
A shot.
Dominique hits a 3.
That fourth quarter, maybe the best fourth quarter as far as mano of all time.
Lead to Bird off the fake, improves his position, and the Celtics are up again.
A mano duel.
Mano.
This is a type of game of who's going to blink first.
Swishes, man.
Responds. Bird
Double team, no problem. I'm not Kevin Durant.
It's like Robert Parrish always said it. It was 40,000 eyes on Larry Bird because they knew he was going to get the ball.
Deliver.
Johnson gets it into Bird, and Wilkins is there. Bird comes free. Bird for the layup. He has hit his last 6 field goals, and as far as Larry Bird is concerned, it's Detroit. Here we come.
Damn.
In the conference finals, Bird and the Celtics once again met Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons. In a reality that had been foreshadowed the year before, the younger and more physical Detroit squad would send Boston home in 6 games. The Celtics battled to the very end, but for the first time in 5 years, Boston wouldn't reach the NBA Finals. Following the Celtics' last finals run, the late 80s would see the fortunes of the Celtics take a drastic downturn. After only 6 games in '88, Larry would be forced to undergo season-ending surgery on both Achilles, a procedure to remove bone spurs in each ankle.
I can remember when I first came in that in the league, Artis Gilmore told me one time, he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, he's crazy because that's what basketball is all about, going after loose balls. And we're getting a little bit older now and feeling the bangs and the bumps and bruises and all that. I can see where he's coming from, but I can't change my style of play. I got to play.
And that's why I always respect people who get a lot done in a short amount of time, as opposed to just stick around for 25 years. You know, like he was willing to win now, do whatever it takes to win right now this year. Forget about tomorrow. And I respect the hell out of it, man. It led to 3 championships in a very short career.
missed more than 8 games in a single season prior to this. When Bird returned at the age of 33, something was obviously different. Larry's body would continue to break down, as the back injuries that had reared their head early in his career were now making the game nearly unplayable.
Larry had 2 jobs his last 7 years of playing. It was playing basketball, and then it was him being committed to taking care of his back. It was a situation that he was seeing almost daily. He had lost the structural stability in his spine, so it would slip into abnormal positions to try and lock itself to get artificial stability. That's like getting your fingers stuck in the door.
Sounds terrible.
And somebody's still pushing on the door. So what we had to do was unlock his spine, realign it, do techniques that would hold that for 4 hours, 6 hours, that type of thing.
That's terrible.
Basketball.
Every time I would play, I was wondering if I was going to be in a wheelchair, or was I ever going to be able to, walk on the beach or hold my kids.
I would see him on TV laying down, and then they told me that he had to lay down on planes, different things like that. And I was like, wow.
He could manage the pain in a way that very few people can do. There'd be days he could come in the office and he couldn't stand up straight.
Mentally, he got himself to places that no one else could get them. When other people were like, I can't take that extra step, he found a way to do that.
From 88 to 92, it was painful to watch. It was painful to cover.
Very few people really knew what Larry was living with, because this was Larry's issue.
I didn't know. And I started really watching him, I guess, 80, 88, right around then. That's when I really started watching basketball all the time, and I became obsessed. But I didn't know he was busted up. I saw a guy that was hustling, and honestly, they always showed all of his classic moments, so I knew all about Larry Bird. And whenever he was out there, he looked a little slower. He couldn't jump much. He couldn't run too fast anymore. But the guy was still Larry Bird, but it did look like he was in constant pain.
And there was no sharing of his pain.
Yeah, he's not complaining about it.
I should have retired in 88, 89. But it's that competition. Maybe one more chance, me and Magic get together in the finals. But it never happened.
Continuing to play the game he loved, Bird managed to play through chronic back pain for the remainder of his career, still averaging over 20 points per game and leading Boston to the playoffs year after year.
First and bumping Bird. Larry takes it, hits it over the top and gets a foul.
5-point game. Bird looking to work on Rice. Larry taking it strong. Good shot for 2 more. Shaw got it. Long pass for Bird. Back to Parrish.
Away by Kint.
It didn't matter that he couldn't run as fast, and that wasn't really very fast at all anyway, and he couldn't jump as high, and it was never very high anyway. It's that in his brain, he still knew what he was capable of doing, how little room he actually needed to get a shot off.
That's the thing. His body was not cooperating anymore, but he was still the smartest guy on every basketball court he ever stepped on.
3 again.
Ooh.
Bird wants it on Davis. Waits for the double team to go away. Spins on Davis. Got the bucket and a foul.
When the shell of a player is still good enough to get you to the playoffs, it tells you how great the player was.
Larry Bird did not play the final 7 games of the season as he decided to sit out and see if he could get his back ready for the playoffs.
And his first pass. Bird had a knocked away by Sado.
That's a setback. You see, he just can't stop.
The lengths that this man went.
Like he said, he can't change the way he plays. That's the way he knows how to play. Loose ball, die for it. Like, it's instantaneous. He knows it's going to hurt him, but he does it.
He dives on the floor for a loose ball, bangs his head, has a concussion. He's sitting in the locker room with the team physician, Tharny Scheller.
And Arnie said, you know, Larry, you've done all you could. It's been a great run. You know, you're not going back out there. And Larry said, no, you're right, Arnie. I'm done. And then he looked at Arnie and waited till Arnie's attention was gone for a moment. And he got up, he went back out. And, of course, they won the game.
Yeah, I reacted to these highlights, too. I remember. That crowd was roaring when he went back on the floor. And that's what it was. It was inspiration. His team needed that. That's a leader. It's a crazy-ass leader.
In a terrific series, have defeated the Indiana Pacers 124.
In his final 2 seasons, the Celtics were 71-28 when Bird played, but barely above 500 without him, as he had to miss over half the season with various injuries in 1992.
This was a guy who played, went home from practice, was put in a full body brace for the rest of the day, would get up the next morning, take it off, go to practice, come back and put that brace back on. That's what he had to do to finish that final season.
In one final moment of greatness for his NBA career, Larry Bird would be selected by the 1992 Dream Team, a collection of the United States' greatest basketball players who competed at the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona.
The greatest way to end a career ever. This is so great.
San Diego, and we check into the Marriott. We go up to our floor, and we're walking in the corridor, and we see this tall white guy coming down the hall, and I'm like, damn,
6'9",
like
no
Larry
joke.
Bird. And Larry Bird, you don't realize how big Larry Bird is. Larry Bird, legit 6'10". He walked by us and he says, y'all those college guys? And we was like, yeah, we the college guys. And he looked at us and he said, get some fucking rest, it's gonna be a long week, and walked off. Then they bus us to another location where the Dream Team is practicing. We're like, okay, we playing? They're like, yeah, we're gonna play next. So we get out the gates, like the first 15 minutes, we kicking their ass. They stop the game and turn off the score. So we like, all right, was this halftime or some shit? They like, nah, the press coming in. And we get back to the hotel, it's a group of them, it's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and everybody's shooting the shit. And Rodney Rogers said, hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since '84. Magic heard that shit. The next day we came in, and I never seen this, and this one I was like, this is a different breed. Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court. Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left, off glass. One dribble, going right, spin, shot, bucket. He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row, left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on a bench, and said, young fella, look like 84, huh?
I love it, dude. Magic, that's a good friend. That's a good friend. He narked out like immediately. He's like, hey, Larry, this is what we got to do. Do you hear what this freaking guy said about you? We're going to do this together.
Has watched them battle each other, and so you get divided. You have to cheer for one or the other. And now they don't have to do that anymore. Hey, we're pulling for our boys.
Yeah, and as an NBA fan, obviously in '92, it was the first time for real, where all in all, we don't care if you came from the Bulls or the Lakers or the Celtics or the Knicks or whoever you play for, the Sixers. Man, you're Team USA. So like, there's no rivalries anymore. You're cheering for everybody. You know, like I was always cheering against the Knicks because I was a Bulls fan. Patrick Ewing was my favorite guy. You know, like that's just how it was. It was a great time. So a great thing just for like basketball unity in general, the '92 Olympics. But like we said earlier, in his long reaction, thank you anybody who's still watching. But way earlier in this reaction about how, you know, you probably had picked one or the other, Bird or Magic. Now you get to cheer for both of them, like Magic says.
He's retired, and my retirement's coming soon, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to play, so getting the opportunity to play with him for one last time is a great, great honor.
Although Larry's back issues had worsened to the point he could barely compete, together alongside his friend Magic Johnson and the new face of the game Michael Jordan, Bird would help the U.S. bring home Olympic gold, and the team itself would inspire generations of hoopers across the world.
I'm glad Brad got to see this day.
But we'll try to get through it as best we can.
On August 18th, 1992, Larry Bird announced his retirement from the NBA at the age of 35.
He had a clause in his contract that said that if he did not retire by August 15th, that he would have an automatic renewal of his contract for $4.5 million a year. On August 12th, he came into Dave Gavitt, the president of the Celtics, and said, "Dave, I can't do it. My back's too bad. I'm going to retire." Gavitt said to him, "Larry, why don't you think about it for a week?" And Bird narrowed his eyes and looked at him and said, "Look, I know what day this is, and if I'm not going to play, I'm not going to take the money."
I get it.
13 years ago.
Talk about the ultimate respect. Basically saying you want to just stay on board and play if you want, don't play if you don't want to. We'll give you $4 million anyways. Like, thank you for your service, essentially. That is so cool. I never knew that. Props to the Celtics for that one.
When I loaded up the car and headed to Boston, I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. I knew when I got here, after the first few games, that you demanded this team of ours and this organization to start winning championships. I dedicated my life to basketball, and I dedicated my life to the Boston Celtics. I dedicated my life to the fans of Boston. I tried to play through pain that I thought that I would never be able to get out of bed. I don't want no sympathy. I just want to know what you meant to me as a player. But tonight I leave you and I say thank you. I'll be around. But tonight, my basketball career is officially over, and I had a blast.
In the quiet town of French Lick, Indiana, basketball was more than a game. For Larry Bird, it was an escape. From a young age, it offered a sanctuary from the hardships of life. The court became his refuge, and in those early hours and late nights shooting alone, Larry wasn't just practicing, he was finding ways to survive.
I think Larry always looked at himself as a poor person, and this was his claim to fame. This was his opportunity to really show people, that he's as good as anyone else.
Over time, something extraordinary happened. The very game that saved Larry Bird was then saved by him.
Larry was the guy in Boston that saved the Celtics from their late 70s swoon, that saved the NBA from its late 70s swoon, who found a rival in Magic that David Stern could sell and market brilliantly, and that is what took the NBA from, oh my God, is this league viable, to, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in sports.
Alongside Magic Johnson, he helped rescue a league on life support, reviving the NBA with a rivalry that was defined by competition and excellence. Their battles didn't just captivate audiences in the 80s. Together, they changed the trajectory of the sport forever.
And I have been very blessed having coached some of the greatest that ever played the game. But if I had to start a team today, the greatest player and the one guy I would take would be Larry Bird.
I always say guys like Larry are in the Hall of Fame.
That's a tough scenario, a what-if situation to put yourself through. One player for your whole franchise, You can only pick one throughout the history of players. That is a tough pick.
Hall of Fame. The people who know ball know that Larry is in that top tier. And he always will be, no matter what. Time will, erase a lot, and people like me will go away, and the people who saw him, it'll just be videos and whatever, and no one will have that firsthand knowledge anymore. But it's undeniable. Without Larry, the league is never the same.
Basketball is always going to be there. In 10 years from now, there's going to be somebody better than me, bigger than me, stronger than me. But while I'm playing the game, I want to be considered one of the best because, I like to play against Dominic, Magic, and I want to play on the same level as them guys. And that's what it's all about, competing every night against the best players. And that's why I hope when I get out, people say, well, he competed every night, and he done pretty good.
I had the ability to play every night.
Jesus.
I brought it every night. I had a good understanding that Celtics paid me to win basketball. And it's my job to win basketball. And the one thing I can say of everything I'd done was I gave it my all. I paid the price with a lot of injuries I had, but I laid it on the line every night, practice, playing, and it made me better. And plus, I was playing against the world's best. That's what it's all about.
Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever be another Larry Bird.
What a doc. Guys, go check out the other videos from Trice. Like, wow, what a doc. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to have to make the outro quick because I don't know how long this has been going on. You guys do, I don't yet. But I got to go to the bathroom. So I did not pause. Wow, what a great documentary, though. All I have to say in the outro is just, holy crap, man. Like, Larry, though, first off, just Trice, this just, I think you just one-upped yourself again. I remember watching a really cool Dr. J documentary on this channel as well. But this might have just one-upped it. Like, great work, as always. Go check out his channel, you guys. Link is down below in the description. I just need one thing for you guys right now. Anybody who's hearing my voice at this point, that means you made it like 2 hours, I would assume. Probably the longest video on my channel ever. And all I need from you is to let me know that you made it to the end. Let me know in the comments if you made it to the end. I appreciate it. I don't think there's anything left to say about Larry Bird except for just damn. Thank you, Larry Bird. Thank you, Magic Johnson. Thank you, all these guys who made this game what it is that we've become, we've come to love so much. But with all that said, guys, I'll see you in the comments. I'm going to go to the bathroom. So be water, my friends. Peace out, everybody.